Hello. Hello.
Hi, Ria.
Hi, Abdel. Am I a host now?
You are a panelist, so
I can share my wait, host disabled attendee screen sharing. Are you gonna share the okay, there we go.
yep.
Co-host. Yeah, I'll just share the PowerPoint.
Mm-hmm.
Can you see it?
Yes, I can see a screen.
Nice.
Hi, Ria.
Okay.
Hi. Abdel, can you make Malia also a co-host so she can share her screen?
Yes. Hey, Malia, so it says that you're using an old version of Zoom. You should probably update that, just an FYI.
I'm on a Chromebook and using the app.
Ah.
And I prefer just to use the.
Makes sense. No, I was just saying for security reasons, but I think you should be able to share your screen.
I I don't usually use Zoom, so.
Gotcha. So, Noureen.
Stop sharing just to make sure that you can share.
Ria, who's sharing? This is Noureen. Is Malia sharing the screen or?
Yeah, we're trying to set up Malia where she can share the screen. Trying to make her a co-host. Yep, we can see your screen now.
Nice.
Let me make sure. Are you still seeing it when it's full screen?
Yeah.
Cool.
So I guess we'll wait another couple minutes just so you can join.
Okay. I'll go on mute for a couple minutes. I need a glass of water. I just came back from another meeting and hopped onto this one, so.
Oh my God.
All right, 1 minute.
Yeah, and Michael, I am using the Zoom app. I recently had to download it for another webinar, but I prefer the web interface. I'm gonna have to use Zoom.
I'm just sharing the intro slides until we get started. How was your day? How's everyone doing this quarantine season?
It's actually really hot here in Los Angeles. I don't know if anyone else is here in California, but we're having a heat wave. It got to 91 degrees today.
That does not sound fun. Yeah. In all these crazy times, I've finished school. I'm finally done. I'm so grateful and relieved.
Yay. Congratulations.
Thank you. I just have to wait for my grades to come out now.
Tracy, it's 99. Oh, Vegas wants to one up us.
All right, we can get started in 1 more minute. Alrighty, let's get started then. Welcome everyone. This is CSNP's event on how to network virtually from the comfort of your couch. We have Malia Mason and Noureen speaking about this. They are incredible people. I know them personally, and I'm really looking forward to you guys getting a good conversation going in this webinar. A little bit about CSNP is that we aim to share education of cybersecurity and free training and make it accessible for everybody so people can stay protected. And we have webinars every week. The next webinar is next Wednesday, May 13th at 7 p.m. Central Time, and it's about careers in cybersecurity. And we have an entire panel discussion, so look forward to that one as well. And let me tell you a little bit about Malia and Noureen today. Malia used to be is a Navy veteran, and she started her own company called Integrum, which is a cybersecurity consulting firm. And Malia is very active in the community. She founded VSIS SoCal, and she runs that chapter. She's the president for it. She's also the chair of the technology committee for Anita B organization, which runs Grace Hopper Conference, and she's involved in a whole lot of other nonprofits. So she really loves helping people out, and you guys should definitely connect with her after this, just so you can get conversation going with her. Noureen is just like her. She's also very driven. She got her degree from MIT and now works for Cisco as a security threat intel engineer. And she is the most fierce woman I have met. So you guys definitely should look forward to it. Noureen's also a part of VSIS in North Carolina. And that's a little bit about themselves, about them. I'm gonna hand it over to them so they can talk further about it and get started with the talk. And I'm gonna stop sharing so Malia can share her screen.
Hey, thank you for that introduction. Let me get this going. All right, y'all should be able to see this. So, yeah, I appreciate y'all having us here tonight. Actually, Noureen and I met Ria at Grace Hopper last year, so we've kind of come full circle. And cybersecurity ladies kind of stick together. So, Noureen and I we're hustling at Grace Hopper trying to figure out who are all out of all the 26,000 attendees, who are all the women in cyber, because that's our main passion and focus. So Ria was really, really impressive. And I think I hosted several events there. She showed up to every single one. So I'm excited to help out tonight. So we're going to be talking about networking virtually. We did good intros. Y'all know who we are now. I think we can skip over this for now and get to what we're going to cover tonight. So we're going to focus on 4 major avenues. So your personal brand, how do you build your network, how to maximize your LinkedIn network, and Infosec Twitter. Networking right now in the time of COVID makes it really challenging. So we're hoping that we can then give you another avenue to network in the things that we are doing ourselves in order to, stay connected digitally. So we're going to talk about personal brand. So Noureen, you're so good at this and so passionate about this. So do you want to talk about your personal brand?
Sure. Thank you, Malia. And I want to thank everybody for who's attending this session, for taking your time to even come be with us, even as we network and share, inspire, and motivate each other in this journey of cybersecurity, because it's not for the faint at heart. And I commend for all of you taking that initiative. Mm-hmm. When it comes to personal brand, this is interesting. Picture yourself. You get in your car, you drive to a store. You have in mind, I'm going to buy this packet of cereal or this type of juice to drink. And when you walk down the aisles, there are so many other boxes of cereal over there. You already know you want to buy cereal X. But as you walk around the aisle, you see a cereal Y, the way it's packaged, the writing on it, the colors, the way they've positioned it on the aisle, it catches your eye and you're tempted. I'm going to go try this. And you leave out the one you were thinking you were going to buy or the one you're used to. Why? Because the way the package was presented, the way the writing had it, the way the color, the way they had aligned, drew your interest to it. Similar thing to cybersecurity. You are your own self brand. I cannot be you and you cannot be me. I cannot be Malia and she cannot be me, right? So you have to position yourself. And when I'm talking about branding is your network, right? Your resume. How do you stand out in the media, right? And taking care of yourself, your whole self. Because if you're not healthy mentally, physically, spiritually, you can thrive in this industry of cybersecurity or any industry, right? How does your resume stand out? Remember, there are so many other applicants who are applying for that specific job you're looking for. How does yours stand out so that the recruiter can pick yours as opposed to the other candidates? Similar situation, just the way I gave a scenario. You walk to the store, you picked up this cereal as opposed to this other one. Well, should they select you and not the other people, right? What does your social media say about you? Times have changed, my friends. Gone are the days where we used to put your resume there on blogs like maybe monster.com, Indeed, Dice, Ladders, what have you, and wait for the recruiters to call you. Nowadays, they're going straight up to social media like LinkedIn. That's where they're clicking to see what has this person been up to, right? And not only just your brand yourself, you have to give back to the others. They'll look at things like, are you even talking to other people? Are you sharing, right? That's also part of your brand. And then within the social media platform where you've put your profile, you have to do a nice sales pitch right there, right? About you, talking about you, your education, your career, your experience, what you're inspiring to do, and what you've done for the community. Because it's not always about you. What are you doing to help others? It's not necessarily the community. Are you recommending others, right? That's also part of giving back. So make sure that your personal brand stands out so that you can be able to be selected or be among the best and thrive in this industry of cybersecurity. Malia, you want to pick up on the other one?
Yeah. So I want to add also to the 30-second sales pitch is something that my dad taught me at a young age is always be networking. You absolutely never know who you will be talking to, even if it's in the grocery store. You never know what opportunity is going to be thrown your way. And if you have 30 seconds to make an impression on somebody, you better be ready to tell your story in a meaningful way and get them to remember you. So practice it. It will evolve over time. And something you want to be able to say really quickly, what it is that you're doing, what's your purpose, what are you looking to do, and how you can better affect that person or how you could help that person out. So that's the biggest thing is get that going. And especially when you're talking with people online, you better get that ready to go and ready to send over to recruiters or to people you meet and let them know. Noureen does this wonderful mentor workshop on Saturdays, and there are a lot of people that attend. It can be challenging to get your voice out and to be heard. So in that instance, it's absolutely critical that you're to the point, you're succinct, and you be able to present yourself very quickly. So then that way you stand out at the end of the day. Next, once you work on your personal brand, how do you build your network on LinkedIn? Right now it's challenging because normally you just go to an event and, you know, hold out your phone and you have the little code and say, oh yeah, let's connect. And then you end up with, 30 connections at the end of the night. Nowadays, it's not as easy. So here are some ways that you can help build your network. Find people to connect with. So one way you can do this is post thought-provoking questions and invite your close connections to comment to increase visibility. You can say, hey, Noureen, I posted this article talking about privacy and the latest Apple and Google connection where they want to track people's data. Do you mind weighing in and just giving your opinion on how you think that'll impact cybersecurity? There you go. Noureen has a big network. She comments on your post. She's going to bring her network's eyes to your post, and then you respond back to her post. And then maybe other people will comment and then connect with them and see, oh, wow, this person posted something really interesting, and connect with them. Another way you can do that is just what you're doing right now. Attend virtual meetups and post a link to your social media account, to your LinkedIn account specifically, in the comments, and say, hey, it was nice chatting with everybody. It was nice meeting everybody. If you want to stay connected, here you go. Here's my LinkedIn account. And then when you connect with people, remind them where you connected. So remind them that you attended this particular event tonight, and then that way they can remember later. And join LinkedIn groups and participate in the discussions. Noureen has the most wonderful mentor and mentee group on LinkedIn that she founded. I believe there's, what are there now, 2,000 or 3,000 members on there. And there's some great posts and discussions, people asking for assistance or people offering assistance. Comment on those posts. Find your tribe, find your people that are on there. There are other groups that are maybe not necessarily Infosec, but maybe they're for your alma mater. Maybe they're for Girls Who Code, or maybe they're for other groups. Find them, comment there, and find people that are like-minded. And ask your personal connections for help. And ask your recommendations of people to connect with. Noureen and I introduce people to each other all the time. She'll do an introduction with me and say, hey, this is someone that you should know. She might be in the California area and might be someone that's interested in joining WISA SoCal, or she might say, oh, this person would like to talk to you about entrepreneurial things. Would you mind talking with her? So ask your connections who have a lot more connections and are more connected to help, and say, hey, do you know anybody that can connect me with this, or that knows this sort of knowledge, or has this sort of background, that I could talk to them more and learn more about this. And people like Noureen and I, we are happy to make those connections and make those introductions for you and help you grow your network. And also see who they're interacting with on LinkedIn. Who is Noureen talking to frequently? Whose posts are she sharing? Whose posts is she commenting on? Whose posts is she liking? Pretty much, if you like Noureen, because Noureen is dope and because she's awesome, you're going to like the people that she's interacting with, because she's only going to interact with awesome people. So look at that and see, oh, who's making an interesting comment, and who's talking with her. Oh, maybe I should reach out. And you could even say something like, oh, I see that we're both connected through Noureen. You know, I would love to learn more about what you are doing. And always send a personal message along with the connection request. Noureen, how many connection requests do you have right now?
Almost 9,000 plus.
Yeah. Always send a personal message. Again, it really helps if you say, we met at this spot, at this location. This is who I am. People who have a lot of connections, they're very active in the community, they're very busy. I think Noureen and I have a bunch of mentees who are very busy. Please send us a personal message along with the connection, because we get connection requests daily. Same with recruiters. They just get blind requests all the time. You need to send a personal message, because that's how you're going to get through that filter and show. And make sure you're looking at their profile. If you follow me on LinkedIn, I sometimes post my LinkedIn in-mail fails, is what I like to call it, where I'll get blind requests to connect. And recently someone started the request to connect with, dear sir, I would like to talk to you about this. Well, that's an auto reject. So
Nice.
how do you maintain your network? So Noureen, you're really good at this. You want to talk about this one?
Sure. So you've made that connection, with that person. So how do you keep it going? Because remember, it's not a one-time connection and you walk away, right? You want to build that relationship because you never know. The person could be the next CEO. They could be the next person hiring. They could be the next person deciding whether you're going to get that job or not. So you have to keep that relationship going, and don't just connect because you want to get something from that person. Maybe connect because maybe you want to help the person, be the mentee, the mentor, right? Or even connect with the person because you just like what they post. When you reach out, you know, say thank you when they accept your connectivity with them, because that speaks volume. It shows you care, you're considerate, and you're appreciating what they're doing. And then it's a two-way, like it's messages, two-way conversation. If you connected with me maybe beginning of last year, or a time like now last year, and we've stayed for a year clearly without exchanging any messages, and I'm sorry, happy birthdays are not the messages to do on LinkedIn. 1 year work celebration, yes, go by all means, click on that link, tell somebody congratulations on your work anniversary. That is professional. Things like birthday, just please, because you're trying to build your professional career, please stay away from those and focus on your networking, because LinkedIn has an algorithm, and we'll show you with Malia as we keep going forward. So when you participate in such, it lowers your score. So you better just stay on the connectivity for your career. Check in with your contacts, right? I have so many mentees, I'm constantly engaging with them, but also I have several mentors. I don't wait for them to reach out to me. I reach out to them, not because I need assistance on mentorship per se. I'm reaching out to them to check with them. Hey, I understand we are locked in during these COVID times. How are you doing? How's your family doing, right? That human element, right? To show that you care, you're part of it together. And that's why I connected with you. You can try maybe once every 3 months. You know how you change your password after every 90 days? Do it a refresher. Let me connect with my networks. After every 3 months, whoever I haven't spoken to in 3 months, I can just reach out. Hey, just saying hello, see how you doing. Hope all is going on your well. It doesn't have to be an essay. 1 line, 2 lines, you're good. Whoever gets back to you, good. Whoever doesn't, it's okay. You're learning with time. Then you can refresh your network, right? Just because you build this massive network connectivity with people does not mean you have to keep all these people on your network. You can go ahead and clean up, do a cleanup. You can delete some, you can add some, you can move some. By all means, refresh it. And then give a recommendation to somebody else. It's not always me, myself, and I. For granted, yeah, I do a lot because I love helping people. I love giving back. I love empowering and inspiring others. But on top of that, I like seeing people excel. So if I connect with you once in a while, you'll notice, oh, Noureen viewed my profile. I wasn't viewing your profile just to be sneaky. I was viewing your profile to see what have you been doing, and I give a recommendation or a kudos or highlight any of your posting. So feel free to do that. And if you connected with somebody who feels you shouldn't be looking at my profile, you shouldn't be doing that, then you shouldn't be connected anyway, because there's nothing then in common that both of you have that. And then recommend skills for your contacts. You could see that they excel in this and they're asking a lot of questions. Maybe they're looking into data privacy and governance, for example. You can comment on their post and say, oh, I know XYZ who can help you with that. Oh, I read these resources, you can look into that. You can be a source of reference or a source of network connectivity to others. So when you're building your network, you have to think about all this all around, right? How am I interacting with my network? Am I engaged both ways? Because it's bi-directional, not just one way, right? Am I constantly checking in with them? Am I also recommending others? Am I giving others by recommending skill sets or even a blog you saw that somebody else may be interested? I'll give you, for example, I have one of my contacts. She's into droids and how they fly over the air, and she's interested in how the vulnerabilities are over there. Anytime I see a link or somebody has posted anything to do with any droids and aviation, I tag her on that link. I said, hey, XYZ, look into this. Because it's not my passion, but it's his or her passion, right? So if you see something, say something in reference of helping other people grow in their career.
Yeah, and I do the same. You know, cybersecurity and even technology in general is so vast that if I see something that's interesting, I actually just today I had someone that messaged me and reached out to me and said thank you. I had posted months ago that an organization, Latina Geeks, was looking for volunteers to help. I am not Latina, but I reached out and I posted it to my network. And I said, hey, look, this is a wonderful organization. They're looking for volunteers. You should look into this. Let's help them out. I had a connection reach out to me today. She's very quiet. She's never messaged me before. And she said, hey, I want to thank you for posting about Latina Geeks several months ago. I did reach out and now I am their secretary, and it's such a wonderful organization. Thank you for making me aware of that. So it doesn't always have to be something that is related to you. Look at ways that you can help your network, because that will come back to you and they will help you out. I got a shout out to Ria again. She did an amazing job of staying engaged and staying connected to both Noureen and I after Grace Hopper. Grace Hopper is massive. We came back with hundreds of connection requests. I do not remember everyone I met and connected with at Grace Hopper, but you know who stood out is Ria's one of those ones that stood out because she stayed connected, she stayed engaged, she checked in, and that's someone who, especially for a student graduating, she's now on our radar and we're recommending her and we're talking about her to our friends and our connections, and we're on the lookout for jobs because we're like, hey, remember that person that was really motivated? I got someone for you. Here you go. So keep in mind, we don't always necessarily talk to you guys or we're not always visible about it, but we're all talking on the back end, because I'm sure Noureen gets this too. I get asked a lot of times, hey, do you know anybody for this particular job? I have this job opening. Do you know anybody? We want to hire women. Do you know anybody? Sure. If you are on my mind and you're on my radar and you're messaging me pretty frequently, you're going to be on my mind. You're going to be on my radar.
Yeah, I can vouch for that. Malia has introduced me to 3 people already with great perspectives. Because of COVID, it didn't work out, but I now have connections, like personal, warm connections with these people, and it's great. Malia and Noureen both, we do have a question here. Is there a way to run a report on LinkedIn to view which connections you haven't reached out in a while? Because if you have like 1,500 connections or more, it gets hard.
LinkedIn. So I've had access to the recruiting side of LinkedIn. So I've seen the metrics and the things that you have access there, and you do have a little bit more, I don't know, ways to do that. There might be some plugins, but I wouldn't necessarily trust them, especially it's third party. It's challenging. I know I have probably close to 3,000 connections. Noureen has 9,000. Noureen, how do you manage to connect, like stay connected with people and kind of manage that?
My connection is usually by posts, right? I'll post a question. Remember previously we said post a thought-provoking post on LinkedIn, and I would say to all my connections or in my network, I'm looking for your input on this, and sure, it will go viral from there. They come back and reply, and just for them interacting on that post, we've communicated. I don't have to individually go into each and everyone's profile to interact with them over there, but I interact with them mostly on posts. And as your network grows, it's hard. Yes, I agree with whoever asked the question. It's hard to interact with each and every individual on a one-on-one. But if you put in a blog or a post over there and asking for my connections, because when you're posting, it also gives you an option. Where would you like to post this message, to everybody on LinkedIn or just your connections? And when I want to hear from my connections, I just select that and only my connections on my network will see that post, and they go in and give their input. And for me, I consider we're still staying in touch, we're still interacting. And if anyone has questions, they always ask over there.
Yeah, for me,
answers.
For me, I kind of use the news too. Like if I hear, I think the most recent thing I can think of is I saw in the news, Netflix, for instance, had a fund right when COVID started, and they had something like an $800 million fund in order to help its employees. So all of the production crew that were, just to prevent them from being laid off and to help them continue to be funded, I reached out to all of my friends at Netflix that worked on the technical side, and I just did a group message. I said, hey, is everybody okay? What's going on? Are you doing okay? I'm thinking about you, and I hope that you're doing well. And so I sometimes will use the news in order to, and I'll just do a quick search through LinkedIn, and I'll say, Cisco, what are first connections? And I'll go through and I'll see, okay, I have like 8 first connections at Cisco. Okay, I might just message them, say, hey, I heard about that big thing that happened. Is everything okay? How are you doing? How are you coping? So that's kind of how I manage it too. So that's another way that you can kind of look at it. Or if they have some big milestones, some of the companies that I'll follow some interesting companies on LinkedIn, and some companies that have been really big supporters of women in cybersecurity. And if they have a big milestone, hey, I'll reach out to the people. I'll look through my connections, see who works at that company, and say, hey, I saw the news. That's really awesome. Congratulations on doing blah, blah, blah. That must feel really awesome to work at that company. So that's roughly how I do it.
Yeah, those are pretty good ideas. I did have a question about recommendations. You guys suggested that you should go out and give recommendations as a part of giving back to the community. But as an individual, I don't feel like I have the credentials to give someone else a recommendation. Like, who am I to say that, oh, this person's better?
It doesn't matter. You can just say.
Yeah. I mean, when it comes actually to recommendation, it is not necessarily recommendation for a career. It will be like you know how when you go on LinkedIn, they have those skill sets for individuals. Like I put in let's say I'm good in threat intelligence. I put there as my skill, but you can go there and click there and say, I'm recommending Noureen for this skill set, right? And if it's a job recommendation, or you've worked with that person before, you can do that. Or if it's your mentor who has done a good job, you can go there and recommend and say, XYZ was a very good mentor, helped me along the journey, and I would recommend him for any other mentees who are looking for a mentor. Or if you read a book about any of your connections, you can go there and give a recommendation of the book and tell the people, I would recommend others on this book.
Yeah, and
more
it
like
doesn't
skills too.
Yeah, and it doesn't necessarily have to be like a professional recommendation. It could be a recommendation of their character. I recently did this for one of my board members. She's a recruiter. We've never worked together, but we have worked together at WISA SoCal. So I was able to give her a recommendation and just said how, I commented on her character. She's dedicated. She goes above and beyond. She's passionate about helping others. I've never worked with her, but I've seen how she works, and I've seen her work ethic through her nonprofit work. And I've seen how she's dedicated, and she ended up reciprocating and doing the same for me. So that's something too, that if you give out a recommendation, then that person might come back and then give you a recommendation. And it could be something as simple as like a character recommendation. That means a lot, especially if you're starting out and they don't know, like, okay, it's a new person, they don't have anything on the resume, any professional recommendation, but holy cow, Noureen gave them a recommendation. Okay, this person might be legit. So that's an example, is you could still give one even if you're just commenting on their character and their leadership.
Gotcha. Thank you.
So next, the biggest thing that I've seen, and I've helped a lot of people with their LinkedIn profiles, complete your profile. You don't want to send a connection request. Once you're all ready and you've built your brand and you've built out everything, you're starting to connect with some people, you don't want to go after sort of those so-called big fish with an empty profile. Because if I automatically reject anybody with an incomplete profile unless I physically know the person. And then I have a coaching session with them about how they need to fill their profile. Because if you're missing a photo, if you have If you don't have anything filled out and it's just blank with your experience, anything like that, I'm gonna auto reject you because I'm gonna assume you're either a bot or spam. And please post a professional headshot. I know it's difficult right now, but get some good lighting. Phones are really good right now with their cameras. So get it against your wall, take a blank background, post that photo, at least get something up there that, you know, isn't you chilling in a t-shirt. And make a custom URL. So I posted here a quick way to get to that custom URL. That is in the home part. If you look at your own profile when you're logged in the upper right-hand corner, it says edit public profile and URL. You click on that. And again, in that upper right-hand corner, it'll say edit your custom URL. And then that way you can put in your name instead of just a jumble of letters and numbers. It looks way more professional. You can put that on your resume. And then when you're sharing, then you don't have this massive long URL. It's something simple and it's recognizable and you know what you're clicking on. So that can really help.
Sorry to interrupt you, but there's a comment that your voice is really faint right now. Could you adjust your headset a little bit?
Is that better? Do I need to hold it up?
That's much better now. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. Sorry about that. All right. So next is post your bio in your About Me section, but have someone proofread it and edit your bio first. I've seen a lot of interesting bios on LinkedIn profiles. Definitely get a second opinion. That's something that someone might just grab too when it comes to either attending an event or when they're doing an introduction. They might just grab whatever's in your bio and throw that in the introduction. If they need to know more information about the person, then you don't necessarily want that being shared if you either have typos or you have any kind of stuff in there that might not be fully professional. So make sure you get a second opinion on your bio. And include conferences attended. I've seen before where people will state that they were a GHC scholar or they were a GHC scholarship winner or WISA scholarship winner, anything like that. Heck yeah, put that in there. That's a huge achievement. And that's a big conference that a lot of people know about. So that's something that you fought for, you were awarded. So yeah, brag about that. And one of the things that I see, and I've actually mentored fellow colleagues on this, is include your volunteer experience. Absolutely. If you volunteer with anything, put that on your LinkedIn. Your LinkedIn is your extended resume. Just dump things in there because you want to get it captured because it'll go hand in hand with your limited physical resume. And if you hold a leadership position, heck yes, list it under your experience section in the professional section, not just down at the volunteer section. Because if you hold a leadership position, in my kind of threshold is if you do more than about 5 or 10 hours of work on this nonprofit per week, heck yes, is that an extra job, especially during these times. So definitely list that in your experience section. And Ria, I'm going to double check your LinkedIn if you don't have your leadership position in your experience. And keep your profile updated. Noureen, you want to talk about this one? Because you're always adding things to your profile, or at least telling other people to.
Sure. Like we said, you are your own best brand, right? So the way you position yourself, and let me take a step back. Why are we focusing so much, me and Malia, on LinkedIn? Because times have changed, right? Gone are the days where we used to have a handwritten resume. LinkedIn is the best way to showcase yourself to a greater network of out there. Because even if you post your resume on those job boards, only those specific people who have accounts on those job boards can see it. But LinkedIn is open, right? You could get a job from maybe in Europe and you're here in the US and they're just looking for a remote worker, but they're not going to find your resume going there into the database, which are hosted just here in the US. So LinkedIn is a very good visibility. And that's why we're taking time to educate you guys or share our expertise, what we know, what has worked for us, so that you can also be able to stand out and be able to find that job that you're looking for, connect with the right network, and be able to grow your career. So when it comes also to showcasing your profile, keep updating the work that you're doing. We are constantly, like we hear me and Malia talking this evening. I just came from another conference prior to that. I post that, not because I just want to show people this what I'm doing. I'm showing people, if I can do it, other people can do it, right? We all have 24 hours clock. So I don't like when people say, how do you manage? How do you do that? It's simple. It's time management, right? Giving back is part of my passion. Maybe that it's not for you, but maybe yours is writing a book. Do it. And when you do that, please update that on your profile, right? You should put three, what we have here on the bullet points, right? You should be able to add at least a bullet point on your roles. What is your job title, where you work, or where you are, if you inspire to be something, a career, specific career, put it over there, right? Also add when you completed, if you have your education background, put it there. Some employers are very sensitive when it comes to education. Others don't care, but hey, put it there so it fits everyone, right? And then any certification. Let me pause here. When it comes to certificates, it's an interesting topic, especially nowadays when things have changed, right? You look at some jobs, they're asking for a laundry list of certifications. Some of us, maybe on this seminar right now, this webinar, are just transitioning to this career, are just about to graduate. So you don't have all those certifications. And these certificates, they cost a lot of money, right? We don't have that money to spend. We're saving right now to how we're gonna make it next, not to pay 10,000 on a certificate. This is usually my recommendation for entry levels and everybody who's launching and transitioning to this career fast. Go for those. Give me 1 minute.
It doesn't have to be it doesn't have to be the paid certifications either.
There's yes, they can do a webinar. No, yeah, like I've seen courses like some webinars, like if you do in a Bright Talk, right? When you finish attending that webinar, they give you a certificate of attendance, right? And maybe let's say they were talking about data governance and risk compliance. There it is. LinkedIn has started offering those courses too. I've seen some which they're charging, but majority of them are free. I did one because I was researching on SQL injection attempts because of these threat actors. And I wanted to understand how the SQL attacks happen. I did my research and I found the best resources was LinkedIn. And I took their course and they gave me a certificate. I didn't pay a dime. All I had to is to have a LinkedIn profile, took the course, and I got a certificate. You can use those as you're starting your career. Again, you don't want to go out and pay much money for all these certificates, and you don't even know whether you're going to like that domain of cybersecurity anyway. So it'll be a waste of money. You can do ethical hacking right now, but once you start your job, you realize, I don't even want to do pen testing. I want to do data privacy. Then now you have to chase the data privacy certificates. Wait till you land that job and you have identified which specific domain of cybersecurity you really, really want to thrive in. Then start pursuing all the certifications you can to become the best subject matter expert in that area.
Now, posting on LinkedIn. So this is where I'm going to get into a little bit of the algorithms of LinkedIn. And LinkedIn updated its algorithms a couple years ago, where instead of liking posts that determines how popular a post gets, actually commenting on a post will make it more prevalent. That's why we started with, hey, ask your network. If you post something interesting, ask them to comment on it, because then that actually helps with the visibility, that helps with the metric, because LinkedIn wants engagement. They don't want just a slew of massive likes. They want it to be a communicative and an engaging platform. So here's an example. Post a thought-provoking question or an interesting article and ask for opinions. Like I stated earlier, hey, Noureen, I posted an article talking about the new Google-Apple partnership where they're going to track patients who are positive with COVID-19 use their geolocation data so then we can track to see where the hotspots are. Can you give me your opinion on what you think the implications are in the future for cybersecurity? There you go. And especially if I'm entry level, that gets me talking to Noureen, who is in the field, who's at a prominent company, and gets her realizing that I'm thinking beyond my entry level self. I'm interested in this. And then, yeah, maybe she'll go and comment, and then she'll bring her big network over to your post. And then more people will be like, wow, who's this person that's thinking forward and asking these questions? That's really cool. I've actually made a lot of connections this way, commenting on other posts, and I'll have examples to show. And when people comment on your post, like them, like that comment, because they'll get the notification, and then respond to it. Hey, thanks for commenting. Try to keep the conversation going, engage, maybe ask them a follow-up question, and post pictures. Holy cow, Noureen is probably the best at doing this. I also post pictures. That's how Wisa SoCal has been able to grow really fast, as we posted a bunch of photos. Just letting people live vicariously through you and see, because pictures are, and this is through the metrics, they have 2 times the views on LinkedIn than strictly a word post. So, and we'll have examples of some of Noureen's posts, but the caveat, keep it professional relevant. This isn't Instagram. So post a relevant photo. An example was I posted at RSA that I won a Wi-Fi pineapple at one of the booths. And I was like, oh, I'm so excited. This is a really cool event. Thank you. And then I tagged who I won it from, etc. Or Noureen and I posted a photo together and we said, hey, this is great. The Wisa sisters meeting up at RSA. Who's here? We'd love to meet up with you and learn more about what you're doing in cybersecurity. That's a way that you can turn a post that might be, a friendly post on Instagram to, hey, we are professionals attending a professional event. We would like to meet other professionals at this event. Please connect with us. And I got a lot of connections from that, a lot of comments from that. And hashtags. So some of you may not be fans of it. I have learned to like them, but they can be really, really powerful. But please limit it only to 2 lines of hashtags. And again, keep them relevant. Don't do this. I've seen this hashtag Google, hashtag Apple, hashtag Microsoft, hashtag Amazon on a post that's not relevant. And you're just spamming at that point. They're not going to see that. They're not going to care. It's just spamming them, and you'll get flagged as a spammer. So, but tagging a sponsor if you're attending an event, or you're maybe attending a workshop or webinar, you might say, hey, thanks hashtag Microsoft for putting on the Azure security event today. I learned a lot. I really appreciate it. That's cool. So here's examples that we want to share. So here's examples of good comments. And again, I'm just grabbing this from my own LinkedIn. So this woman on the left here posted, hey, this is it's a new security compliance that's going to be coming out. That's in the works right now. So everybody's commenting on it and everybody is curious about it. And I said, yeah, I'm also curious about this. If you see down there, I have 5 likes and 6 replies. I ended up with about 6 or 7 connection requests after this because people thought I had a really awesome and thought-provoking discussion on here. Same deal over here. This is actually one of my friends, Angela. She posted, this was, again, that Apple-Google partnership. And we were talking about privacy. And I said, yes, I agree, blah, blah, blah. I'm responding to her, so I'm boosting her. And then I had someone respond to me. And I think I did end up with a couple of connection requests after that. Photos. Here's an example of Ria capturing us at the worst photo ever of me.
I'm sorry. You look cute.
I look so mad, but this is an example of a good photo. You attend a webinar because how else are you going to get pictures of an event, right? So she did an awesome job of getting a screen capture of the three of us giving a presentation at WESIS. She has good hashtags here. She tagged us because it was appropriate. We are in the photo and said, hey, thank you for putting on this thing. And holy cow, Noureen, you want to talk about how you got 81,000 views and 8,000 views on these two posts?
like we're emphasizing, thank you, Malia. Pictures speak more than 1,000 words, right? So for this middle one here, I hosted the Women in Cybersecurity here in North Carolina, where I'm a president of. And I just wanted to showcase the ladies. See, you can do it. If we take a group picture, other women and other people out there can be seen and can see if other women can do it, we can do it too. So kind of motivation, people like it. And that's why we posted there. And you can see people go ahead, they like it because they view it and they comment and you get so many connections about them. And then the one here on the far right corner here, this was interesting. This was me doing a self-reflection. And that's why I want to come back again. You'll notice I keep repeating myself when I'm like a marketer. Self-branding, packaging yourself. I did a self-reflection. This was 4 months ago. So this was the beginning of the year, was me sitting back and doing a reflection and saying, this year, 2020, where do I want to go? Where do I want to be? What's my goal? What's my timeline? And I don't know how many of you watch that show on TV that says, it's called Shark Tank, where people come and propose their ideas, and these people who have money, they either buy into the idea or don't buy into the idea. I see so many people who come and showcase the idea and get turned away. They don't get anybody to buy into it. But guess what that does? It gives them the visibility, right? And people like me who did not even know that product existed, I get to know about it and I may end up purchasing. And it also gives them a platform where they get feedback, which they could not have received if they sat at home with the idea by themselves. So what am I trying to say here? This post here, I did a self-reflection and I said, I want to be a chief information security officer. Why? Because I care about the people, I care about the business, and I care about the general cybersecurity community. So I decided I'm going to scavenge for books and find what's good for me. I found these 3 books, which have really helped me. And I posted there and I said, I aspire to be a CISO one day. So I decided to start here, start reading these books. And just to give the credit to the authors, I tagged them on the post for them. And then I put in, if the line could continue, would say, I asked others, what are others reading? Or what other books would you recommend? I mean, that post went from, I don't know, as you can see the views, it went from whatever it was to 81K, views, and it's still ongoing. And good thing, all these authors have reached back to me. They're asking me, do you know people who want my books? I can share, I can distribute, I can do this. So, and two of these people here on this book are my actual mentors right now, right? Helping me. So what I'm saying is part of packaging yourself, be vulnerable, speak out your aspirations, speak out your goals, because there may be somebody out there who has trended the road that you're about to trend, and they'll help you, because you don't want to repeat the mistakes others do it, and you don't want to reinvent the wheel. Learn from others. So be vulnerable in part of your packaging, because you can't do it alone, I can't do it alone, and we need each other. So that's more about on that picture, Malia.
And yeah, we I think she and I post a lot of photos, because then again we know how like that gets the views and it gets engagement. And here's examples that I want to show of good hashtags. Is for this instance, for WESA SoCal, Netflix has been a sponsor of ours. We are friendly with them, and one of our connections posted about a job here in Los Angeles. Well, people are trying to find work, so I reposted it and said, hey, Netflix is hiring, and I tagged 2 of the people that have been really awesome with us. They've been great allies to our group. This is, again, me signaling to my network, this is a good, diverse, and inclusive company, and put a couple of hashtags of tagging my network, because I want them to know about this. I want them to apply. And I tag Netflix and to let them know what it is. The same deal, Grace Hopper, you can see I got 2,300 views just for sharing that Grace Hopper went virtual. and I posted all the things that are relevant to the post. So and I want people to know, hey, we're virtual this year. This is important. So I'm tagging GHC 2020, GHC, Grace Hopper, anything that someone's going to be searching for so that they can get information. This was important to get out. So I know we're running out of time. So
I think we've already addressed most of these. So
yeah, so be careful
because
when
of time. Yeah.
Yeah, be careful when you're tagging people. Noureen and I get tagged in a lot of posts. Make sure it's relevant and be cautious. You know, ask yourself, how will it impact you or the person that you're tagging or the company that you're tagging? Will that reflect good on both of you? So question it before. How often should you post? If you are job searching right now, you should be posting a lot. However, posting too often can get you flagged as spam. The official analytics say that if you post more than, I think it was if you make more than 20 posts in a month or something like that. I can't remember off the top of my head. You will get flagged. So just make sure you're not posting a bunch of stuff every day, but maybe post something at least once a week. Commenting on things will help.
Mm-hmm.
And also watch your tone. It can be difficult to make a joke. I have had this a couple times where people are like, "You're mean." I was like, "No, I was joking. You didn't understand." So I sometimes have to check myself too and make sure, okay, let me reread what I'm about to post here. Can this be misconstrued? Can this be misinterpreted? So, and then when in doubt, yeah, definitely have somebody look at it again. And again, here's your good tags. I'm tagging my personal friend, Ben Lim. He is a first connection. Otherwise I wouldn't have tagged him. And again, Bria did a wonderful job of tagging Malia, or tagging me and Noureen, because we are personal connections. And she attended an event. Other good ways to do this is Noureen and I will comment on things so that we bring awareness to it. Same deal. Here's another person saying, "Oh, hey, thanks for spreading the word." And here is another one of our connections where she posted about attending WESIS and said, "Hey, thank you for this particular event," and then tagged the people who were speaking in the event. Those are appropriate tags. Tagging Bill Gates because you attended a Microsoft Azure workshop? No, don't do that. You'll never see it. And super, super quickly, because we are running out of time, Infosec Twitter. You want to cover this one? We're both not particular fans. It's cautious.
Right. Yeah, for Twitter, because you're limited how many words you can post, so it's just limited. But if you have something quick to post, it's a quick way to communicate out there. Also depends on who you're reaching or who you're targeting, because always remember you have to know your audience, right, before you put it out there. But we'll share with you these slides and you can read more what we have there. Right now, Malia, I want to jump into the questions because we have a couple questions before we end.
Yeah.
There's one says, how do you communicate with mentors and how do you bond? I can take on this, Malia, and you can answer the next question. For the mentors, it's a relationship, right? I'll give an example of me. I mentor many. So what I do, I'll schedule time with my mentees and we'll go over our plan, our session, and we'll discuss how long is this event going to be? How long are we going to be in this relationship of mentor and mentee, right? And how often should we be meeting? I'll give them a set of questions which I want them to go research. On our next meetup, they provide the answers, right? So that's how you bond and that's how you keep the relationship and that's how you communicate with your mentors. The next question is, will Grace Hopper Virtual be open to all? Malia, do you have an answer to that?
Oh, I do not know.
Okay.
That is coming. I'm part of the, I'm on the planning committee. So I just last week finished reviewing a ton of CFPs, call for papers. Trust me, as soon as that information is known, I will be blasting that out to my network, especially when it comes to, I know probably some of you have applied to the scholarships. All of that is now, we don't know, but you guys, if you follow me on LinkedIn, you will be the first to know once I know something about Grace Hopper.
Awesome. And for those, I'll just say, for those who are also looking for mentorship, on my LinkedIn page, I usually post the the session that I host on Saturday, it's a global event where you can meet other mentors and also other mentees. So you can see you're not the only one by yourself, where you can get your question answered, even find a mentor. I have several Cisco engineers who are willing, have partnered with me to reach out to the community and share their knowledge, resources, and also accept mentees. They're always asking, where can I find mentees? So this is a good platform. If you have time, feel free to join. It's a way of us giving back to the community. So we want you to take advantage of that. And Malia is sharing here on the slide for us how to stay in touch with us. Please stay in touch with us and we'll be glad to help you in this journey of cybersecurity.
Oh shoot, what is
I
the best
should
way?
totally connect with the two of them. They're amazing women. Thank you so much, Malia and Noureen, for this amazing talk. And thank you for all of our attendees for attending and being interactive. I hope you guys had a good time. I do have as you can probably see on your screen, it's a quick survey, a little poll. We would appreciate if you can take it just so we know how to make this event better for you in the future. And I just want to say thank you again, Malia. And we have a few more questions, but because we're out of time, you guys should connect with them on LinkedIn and other social media platforms and ask these questions personally. It'd be a great way to keep the conversation going.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, everybody. Thank you for all the awesome questions, and thank you for having us. We definitely enjoyed it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a nice evening, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye.